Let's talk about Adderall. And more specifically, of course, how it pertains to ADHD. Is it healthy? Is it helpful? Is it escapism? Is it good? Does it lead to addiction? Does it lead to loss of personality? Does it lead to emotional regulation? Does it lead to emotional dysregulation? Does it lead to substance abuse? Does it lead to whatever? This is again, I started writing stuff down. I started doing research. I can't do videos like that. I talk about topics that I feel I know a lot about, and I kind of wing it, and I like to create a dialogue. So I think that's the best value. You can go to more professional channels if you want to get like notes and like exact things, but I talk about things that I have deep interest and knowledge about, and I like to just go. So having said that, let's talk about Adderall. I personally been on it since I was 12, or I was prescribed it first when I was 12. I took it for like a little while, but it was middle of puberty, and then everyone was like, "You're acting weird," and I'm like, "Okay, I don't want to act weird. There's enough going on: divorce, puberty, school, adolescence. That's already a lot." So I didn't take it, and then I took it again when I was 24. I think honestly, let's say a family member gave it to me, and I took it. It was only half of a 10, I think. It was at a funeral. Oh, it was terrible. I was talking like crazy. I felt amazing, and that was took. Now I'm prescribed 40 milligrams, which is nothing now. Full disclosure, I took 120 milligrams yesterday. So if you want to listen to a degenerate talk about stuff, that's that seesaw. You listen to like a drug addict or like a degenerate, and you go, well, that guy probably knows firsthand, but can I trust him? Is the question, right? Um, that's at least my experience. But yeah, so sometimes I feel like I'm too honest. Yeah, and sometimes I also think that drug fucked up my brain, and there's definitely, for me personally, there's definitely some loss of. It's one of those things, right? Like, especially with Adderall. Let's say you have a job and you only can do it if you're on Adderall. What happens if the drug didn't exist? You would find another way. You get fired right away, and then life goes on. But if you have the drug, you can do things that you're not supposed to do. So is it worth it, And then the correlation between that, on that note, makes me right away think about, well, then to what degree are you taking it because it's addicting and you feel good, That's the really rough part about, stimulants, especially, you look at ADHD and how many people with ADHD, are addicts, alcoholics, drug addicts, just obsessive. Like I genuinely think they should just change. ADHD is the dumbest, and I never got a memo. It was ADD. I have ADD. No one gave me a memo. Now and it's still the worst. It is one of the worst ways to describe the disorder. If you want to call it a disorder, I don't want to call. I don't know why I just called it that. It's it's a lack of dopamine, like threshold. That was a game changer when I figured that out. For those of you who do not know, and you have ADHD and haven't done the research, and it really is. It's a lack of dopamine. That's why people think you're overly hyper. No. You need stimulation. Your greats were out there running around full speed. You were the mother effort that just jumped after the tiger with your bare hands and showed everyone how it's done. How it's done. That's why athletes have ADHD. That's why people that are freaking, whatever, professional gamers, ADHD. It's like 90%. I'm completely throwing that stat out there, but I guarantee you, people with ADHD are some of the best gamers, and tend to work outside. All this stuff. So we're on a rant here. Freaking, I just probably because I said disorder, I triggered myself. It's not a disorder. It passed on through the generations for a reason. And yeah, back on Adderall. So on that, there's actually a good segue. Are you doing a job that is not meant for your brain. Like, there's so much pain in this world, in Western culture, for people with ADHD, that should not. It's just, I could write a book. I guess that's what I'm doing on this right now. It's just like it's a super freaking power, man. And forget the money. Now I'm getting preachy. All right, back on topic. ADHD and Adderall. I don't have ADHD at all. What are you talking about, person watching this video? Yeah, so I took it for 10 I took it for 10 years, and it saved my life. I have this house because of it. I, clean this house a lot. It's a lot of fun cleaning on Adderall. It's also can be super destructive and take away your personality. That is my experience. That is the fear. That is the asterisk, triple underline, highlight is, and I believe this to some degree for everyone with ADHD, is the drug covering up trauma, and to what degree is it? Or is the drug directly helping you in day-to-day life in a way that is sustainable? You got the right dosage, you have the right environment, i.e., you figure it out, all the variables, all the controllables, working out, being outside, right job, right people, right living situation. These things are so important for the ADHD brain. And I just think for myself, I give myself reassurance when I think, oh, I fucked up my brain, or I fucked up this is trauma, recent trauma, whatever thing I'm doing, and then I go, no, I got a giant whiteboard over there. I got 3 notebooks over there. I got 2 phones to be able. Anyway, all these systems, and I'm like, no, I've been like that my whole life. I remember writing. I had to write down everything. Weird, right? It's almost an autistic thing. Writing down. I prefer to write things down on physical paper, but then I like to enter things digitally for accounting. I don't know. It's and then whiteboard for certain things. It's I don't know. That's super autistic. Maybe it's both for me, but anyway, where was I? Yeah, the trauma, right? The distraction part. Adderall is very, and this is kind of what I want to get into, is is Adderall worth it? That's what I'm going to name this video, because it's a really important question I believe to constantly ask yourself if you're taking Adderall. I don't care what your reason is for it. You could not even have ADHD, and it could have value for you, and you could be, I hear people say, oh yeah, you'd hear that a lot. It almost sounds like an alcoholic saying, oh, I just drink wine. I'm a sommelier. I'm not alcoholic. I'm a sommelier. It's like someone saying, oh yeah, I take Adderall because for me, I feel normal. It's like when a normal person takes it, they get all high and stuff. But when I take it, I feel like you do. It's like, that's not how it works. You're still you. You should still be you. You're speedy you. You can do the stuff the other person can do, but you're just you on speed. I don't like that framing. I personally don't like that framing when people say that, because it's almost and I personally, and if you got ADHD, you're susceptible to drug addiction. So take it from me, I would use that in hindsight. I would say, oh, this drug is legal. Oh, this drug is, I need to feel normal. And then I would be on, I didn't justify it last night, but I did take 120 milligrams last night. And don't ask me why. Every now and then I go crazy. But I got it pretty dialed in. Try not to do that as much. I used to have a lot bigger problems, so I keep saying to people, I'm like, nothing can outdo what was. So I can't. Anyway, so yeah, is Adderall worth it? That's the question to ask yourself, I believe, because There's no question it's not to be taken lightly. There's no question it's addictive. There's no question, and this is the big thing, that it mutes empathy to a degree. And that's really what I wanted to get to in this video. I believe ADHD often is a hypersensitivity. The environment affects us so much. That's why we're hyper. OCD and ADHD, like you're obsessive, you're sensitive. And how could it be otherwise? You go into a library, down lighting, no stimulation. It's like hell, right? That is hell on earth. A factory job, a library, a doctor's office, just that down lighting inside. I know everyone's different, but like more or less, you guys know what I mean, right? The lack of stimulation in an environment is hell. A classroom, right? And so, that sensitivity, I would argue that Adderall helps for two reasons. It gives you that stimulation, but also it can mute the oversensitivity. Like you're able to, and that's where I think that those are like the good and the bad. Like I tend to do extremes and things on the spectrum. That's my brain. I don't know why. I'm on the spectrum, so I talk about spectrums. So you got, so if you're taking Adderall and it's to stimulate you, to make you, my hands are full, to stimulate you to be able to not have to, pinch or whatever, you play with something or, whatever it is, like make noises, act out, flip the table, like whatever it is that you would have to do to stim. Fuck yeah, it's light. That Adderall can help with that, right? And then, am I going blind or am I having a stroke? Oh no, it's the light outside. That freaked me out. The light outside changed. Whoa. That messes my brain. Short circuit. Taking the drug for stimulating, right? And taking the drug for muted personality. Isn't that just another form of like, kind of like mask? It's masking the same way a narcissist, not the same way, but like when you're taking down empathy, you're able to, that's the narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopathic imperative is I don't care even about myself. Why could I don't care about you. So if you don't care about yourself or others, you can just do whatever and just care about needs being met and validation, all this external superficial shit. And I would agree. I would argue that Adderall can lead to this. It can lead to World War II. I think I don't know if they teach that in school. I mean, if you look it up, not to like take any away from like the evil that was Nazi Germany, but like I don't believe that abhorrent of acts could be committed. I don't think the human being can scale that amount of horror without substances like, Adderall is basically meth. But like that was like that Pervitin they were doing in Germany. Look that shit up, dude. That I think about that a lot when I clean the house or I do something. It's like, why am I doing stuff to do it? We all die in the end. Why be more efficient? Let's be efficient. That's the scariest thing about Adderall to me, is like losing your humanity. And that's why I believe it's legal. I always say I gotta be preachy all the time, but that's why I believe it's legal. It's government meth enables obedient workers. That's a whole nother tangent. I'll get into that too. We're kind of already on that topic. And this is that thing that's not, it's not black and white. But I often think about that. How much creativity is being stifled for a multitude of reasons, but specifically ADHD meds. I only can talk. I mean, I would imagine it's a lot of medication, and I'm not just saying all meds are bad, but I'm saying all meds are bad. No, I'm saying I don't know how long you should be on meds for. I don't know if it's a conflict of interest or if it's very forthright to have medication by the government that is for life. I mean, it kind of feels like at that point you're farming people, but I digress. And then on that note, Adderall, there's no question it takes away from spontaneity, creativity. You know, who knows what roads you would go on once you got fired from that bakery job. Like, screw it, I'm learning the violin. Become the best violinist in the world because you hyper focused and you said F the money and went for something that was creative and got off the Adderall. But then again, not being on Adderall, we've all been there where I can't even think. I just want to go jump off the roof, drive my car 900 miles an hour because there's that little stimulation. So just food for thought. I'm getting a little bit all over the place here. We went from like Nazi Germany to like ADHD to Asperger's and blah blah. So I'm gonna end the video here. Let me know what you guys think about Adderall. Does it help you? Did it ruin your life? I know there's some people like that out there. I'm in the camp where I took it. It led to a lot of good things. It led to basically a ruining of the life. But it's hard to say if it did. And then now I'm back on it. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely one I need. I've run full circle with the drug. But yeah, let me know in the comments what your experience is. Are you off it now? Are you on it? I'll probably tell by how many characters. The more characters you type, there's a better chance you're on Adderall. I shouldn't have said that out loud. We can all speculate who's on it, though. It'll be fun. We can judge each other. Anyway, have a good one, guys. I appreciate your time if you're still in the video. Thanks for coming to my TED 2 talk. If you're in the comment, guy, that was a good comment. All right. Bye.